Well, just an absolute epic game, and kudos to both teams. The Cleveland Browns played very, very well, well enough to win, but at the end of the day, the Ravens were able to pull it out with a 47-42 come from behind. How dramatic can you get with Lamar Jackson coming out of the locker room, coming off the bench, and the Ravens stars really showed up. I want to start defensively with Marlon Humphrey, who had 2 forced fumbles. Great coverage all night. You're going to see here in the second quarter, this is very simple. He lets the receiver go to the inside. He trails the receiver through. It's an in cut, and he lays to the backside of the hip, almost like, yes, there's a window here. Throw the ball, Baker. He does, and Marlon steps up and knocks the ball out for an incompletion. Now, we have to go on, obviously, to Lamar Jackson and the rushing offense. You know, they pounded the ball. They ran for 231 yards, 5 rushing TDs. And it was interesting, the variation of the plays. Let's look at 2 plays that were back-to-back in the second quarter that put the Ravens up 14-7. And it's interesting because we're going to see this variation later on in the game as well. Nice job. You're going to see Lamar here. Ricard gets to the edge. You're also going to see Andrews pulling this idea of a lead on the power, a second guy coming through. In this instance, it's Andrews. The defense actually reacts to it. They see and start to fold to the inside. So Lamar simply bounces to the outside, goes around the perimeter of the defense for a 20-yard gain. And then now, again, you kind of see the variation on the theme. This was a brilliant run. Again, this is the ultimate in misdirection because you're going to see Macari and Fluker actually pull and go to the left. But they're going to run this option coming back to the right. Now, typically, Lamar would have either given the ball to Edwards or faked it to Edwards, keep it, and go to the outside as the defense collapsed. For whatever reason, Lamar gives the ball to Edwards, and the defense collapses to the inside. So Edwards brilliantly sees, well, look, if they're going to do that, I'm going to bounce to the outside where Lamar would have been, and it led, obviously, to the 11-yard gain and the touchdown. So just a brilliant set of runs by the way of the offensive line, Lamar Jackson, and Edwards as well. And then finally the big plays. And we've got to go to the pass to Marquise Brown. This was just spectacular. This was a 4th and 5. They had just lost 3 yards. They know they've got to get the score. Lamar comes in literally off the bench after the injury, does a great job as he does, folding to the outside, collapsing the defense. You can't blame the defense for collapsing to come down and try to stop Lamar Jackson. He keeps his vision downfield, delivers the strike to Marquise Brown obviously for the touchdown. And then in the same fashion, with the no-huddle offense inside of 2 minutes, a great job of moving the chains down the field. Andrews working himself across the vein of the defense, very patient on Lamar's part, waiting for him to get the ball to him and setting it up for field goal range. And then, of course, Tucker comes in and delivers. And what a huge advantage it is for the Ravens and Greg Roman in that situation, classic 2-minute situation, where you need to get it down the field, but knowing that, boy, with Justin Tucker, all I need to do is get the ball to the 40-yard line, and we're going to be automatic. That has a huge impact on the play calling that you can make and the way you can set it up. You don't have to be too aggressive forcing the ball down the field. You can, as they used to say, matriculate the ball down the field. Lamar did a beautiful job, obviously, setting it up, and the Ravens were rewarded with a 47-42 win.